Hello, how are you? Welcome to our session today where we're going to do characteristics of a successful entrepreneur. And my name is Winnie Barawa. If you're new here in this channel, this is Medic Academy where we focus on lessons, lectures, and interviews relating to healthcare. And in this course of entrepreneurship, we're going to focus more on healthcare entrepreneurship. That is our key focus. And we had introduced this unit already. We had described on what are the concept of entrepreneurship, and the other concept we did was intrapreneurship. So if you've not yet checked on that, you can check it up on our slides. So on this class, we're going to check more on the characteristics that make up a successful entrepreneur, regardless of whether it's in the healthcare entrepreneurship or it is in any other arena of business management that the person is participating in. So under the characteristics of a successful entrepreneurs, we have key parts that I've compiled. So we got visionary, where we say an entrepreneur is visionary, meaning they have the ability to state the vision of their business and pursue the innovative ideas in regards to that particular vision. But again, we have the characteristics of resilience, that is being able to demonstrate adaptability, especially in moments of challenges and setbacks. Giving an example, like the case of when we had coronavirus and each and everything was closed down. So in such a case, we talk about, can business or can your business venture survive in such a moment? And then the other bit is adaptability. Adaptability is the ability whereby your vision can pivot and change in the different course of changes that come along with businesses. So that's about being adaptable. Then the other bit about being an entrepreneur is that you have to be quite confident in your own business, that regardless of what happens, you're able to outline how the business vision runs, the decisions that you make around your business, to show that you understand your business venture and why you're conducting it. So these segments highlight more characteristics that portrays a successful entrepreneur, and we have the tough-mindedness, where we're saying in regards to how changing times can happen in the business, you need to portray a focused mindset, a focused way of thinking, so that in such a moment you don't get swayed from the main purpose. And then the other bit is being hardworking as an entrepreneur, that you're able to understand resource mobilization in terms of time, human resources, capital, of funding, because it takes a lot of hard work to pull together these resources, not only to start the business, but also to run the business. And then the other group of characteristics entails risk taking, flexibility, and being curious. And as a risk taker, we are looking at aspects like are you are you proactive enough to actually take a risk when it comes to a business? For example, you may be offered like an investment opportunity and the investor is asking for like 30% ownership of the business. Will that be a risk worth taking of an opportunity? And then the other bit is flexibility to adapt to different changes in the business environment. For example, changes in taxation rules or changes in legalities and licensures. And all this requires the business owner to be flexible enough to operate. And then we have the other parts of curious. Curious goes together also with proactive here, but the main purpose is, are you a researcher enough to understand that you don't just operate a business based on the current state that you know. Sometimes you need to dig deeper and know, like, what else can I do to make this business worth it, or to make this business successful and attract more customers. So be curious, study more, research more about your market strategies, research more about management approaches that can make your business successful. And then the other bit for an entrepreneur is having a long-term plan. Mostly this comes out clearly when you develop a business plan, And the business plan can highlight your business goal, like in the next 1 year, 2 years, or as long as 10 years, depending on what long-term means on your end. But most business plans engages a 3-year plan, which extrapolates the various achievements that you wish your business to achieve in the coming years. And then the other bit is the good problem solving skills. Yes, you will meet challenges as a business person, but you need to have good problem solving skills for you to propel yourself forward. And without forgetting, you need the desire to make profit. You can't be running a business and it's operating as a charity. You always need to evaluate your incomes that are coming from your streams and see if you're making a good profit margin. So in the profit margin, it means you basically need to calculate what profit percentages you're targeting, and if that target is being met, or you need to reevaluate your strategies. And the other bit is having an underlying enthusiasm, have self-motivation, be self-driven, because it can be very discouraging when you're running businesses and you are not motivated enough to keep going, because sometimes it's a lonely journey. Sometimes it's a moment where you're not sure because things maybe keep changing or the roles keep overwhelming, but you need to have underlying enthusiasm or self-motivation for you to keep on with your responsibility or with your business venture. But again, let's talk about the good part of being an entrepreneur, the benefits that come with entrepreneurship. So here we have one of the things that most people enjoy in entrepreneurship is the freedom. So the entrepreneur has the freedom to pursue their passions and make their own decision. Although many people also disagree with these points because they feel it's not really true that entrepreneurs have freedom. However, the freedom that comes around is after some time, when you've done this business, it's breaking even, you have made some profit, it's self-replicating and it's scaling. That's where the freedom comes in. However, in the ideation stages or in the development stages, there isn't much of freedom there because there's a lot of investing in terms of time, resources, money, funds. Generally, each and everything that you're doing is paid on you as the entrepreneur. So the freedom is never in the first or in the beginning stages of that business. However, freedom comes later on when you have committed to it and the returns are coming in. Then the other bit is rewards. So reward is the potential to have financial and personal fulfillment. Like I've said, there's some businesses that when they break even, you appreciate why you started it because you start making good business returns, and some of the returns investments are just wonderful, and you appreciate why you are now kicking into your financial freedom. Then the other bit is personal fulfillment. Like you find there are people who wish to retire very early and they want to use business channels as the reasons why they want to retire as early as maybe in their 30s. Others prefer retiring in their 20s or others in 40s, depending what is your target retirement age. And these are some of the rewards that businesses can do or entrepreneurship journey can do. And the other advantage or benefits of entrepreneurship is creativity. So allows you to express your creativity in your innovation in whatever field you've chosen, and in this case we're talking about healthcare. So with healthcare you can choose for instance the specialty that you want to invest in. We will have a lesson on the different opportunities that you can invest in healthcare, and in that we will highlight the different areas where you can check in as a business person. So we will be able to see the different parts that you as a business owner you can invest in. So that's the reason why we are saying we will bring up a creativity bit of it. All right, in this bit we talk about flexibility and independence, which is another benefit of running a business or being a healthcare entrepreneur. So in the bit of flexibility, it can come in different ways. So you can have flexibility where you have freedom to reschedule or schedule your activities based on your availability. So the entrepreneur enjoys the flexibility where they can define their own working hours, their own schedules, or how they wish to run their businesses. And then the other bit is having independence when it comes to decision making. So they can make these decisions without being bureaucratic, without having any constraints that come with corporate environment. For instance, if you're employed, most of the time you don't have the freedom to make these decisions as independently as a business owner can do. And sometimes some of the organization maybe you're employed in are very bureaucratic. In this sense is you have a long chain of command that requires you to visit one office of the other until you can make the final decision. However, being an independent business person, you're able to make this decision without much consultation with the many offices that are in place. And the other advantage is having a work-life balance. Having said that, the entrepreneur has the flexibility to define their own hours and schedules. You have that work-life balance. So you have maybe agreed or planned on your own that you're gonna commit 4 hours a day to just work on your businesses. Then you can also say the remaining 6 hours of the day, maybe you want to commit to something else that is personal or professional life. So there's ability to have that balance between your work and life, and this is what people now prefers to like the flexibility and independence bit. So the advantage of flexibility and independence mostly are replicated in the aspects of working hours, decision making, and the work-life balance. And then we look at the financial bit of success that comes with business. We had also talked about this in terms of rewards in the first bit of benefits, but again, you need to look at it as what are some of the big financial successes that entrepreneurship can bring. So some businesses have very high return on investment, that is ROI. So ROI basically means high return on investment. So if you have a business that have very high potential for replicability, then you are assured of high returns. And you even find that most investors prefer to invest in such businesses because they are assured that they will make high financial returns and wealth out of it. So people target that when you start a business, you're starting this business because you want to wealth create or you want to have generational wealth, whereby even your future generation can actually succeed or depend on that business for survival for years and years without really working or looking for alternative sources of income. So these are some of the benefits of the businesses. Financial success in terms of high return on investment, but also in terms of generational wealth, where let's say your third generation can still use your own wealth that you created at this particular moment to benefit from it. And the good other bit is growth and professional growth, personal and professional growth. So in the personal and professional growth, you can also check on it on different bits. It can either be in terms of skill development and network expansion or leadership development. So you as a person can look at yourself, like which parts are you trying to grow on? Are you looking at skills? Are you looking at networking? Or are you looking at leadership development? So most of when I'm looking at this business ventures that you're running, are you trying to run your business to foster skill development and learning? So some people do businesses for the purpose of skill growth and development, which is also a good thing because with the skills you can actually pitch for bigger opportunities, you can pitch for bigger investment opportunities or a platform where you can grow. And then there's aspect of networking expansion. You want to expand your professional networks and relationships, which for you are looking at long-term impact in terms of yourself and as a person in that particular specialty. And the other bit is leadership. Entrepreneurship automatically provides you with leadership opportunities because as an entrepreneur, we expect you to understand the principles of management, which are rolling around managing, controlling, delegating, planning. All these are good characteristics that leadership entails. And being an entrepreneur automatically means you should be able to conduct all these characteristics without constraints or without straining as a person in that area. All right, but now you can't run businesses without encountering challenges. Yes, we've looked at the characteristics of a successful entrepreneur. You have checked and seen the benefits that comes with entrepreneurship, but we have to appreciate that we also can have challenges of entrepreneurship. Now, not all businesses succeed. Actually, research shows that out of the businesses started, only 30% succeed, or a third of that business population succeed. So what are some of these challenges that sometimes can risk failure of our entrepreneurship life? So you can have risk of failure. So you can start a business and you can fail in running that business. You can have business failure on financial losses. Now, it does not mean that when you run the business and it fails, you are a business person, you are a bad business person. No. It just means that it's the business that failed and it's not the entrepreneur that failed. So please note that difference. It's the business that failed. It's not the entrepreneur that failed. Then the other bit is the work-life imbalance. So yes, we are doing a business with a target of having work-life balance. However, in some instances, it can end up whereby you're not able to balance these two and one of it suffered. So you find that yes, you have commitment, you have responsibility, and as a result, you're not able to balance these two, and then you end up one of it collapsing. And more so, unfortunately, mostly it's the business that collapses. All right, then we got the other challenge, which can be in terms of risks and uncertainties. And under risk and uncertainties is looking at how the entrepreneurship environment can actually become risky or uncertain, and this can fail our businesses. So here we can have aspect whereby the market is very volatile, like it's not stable, there's high risk of inflation, or prices keep changing, taxes keep increasing, and all this tends to make the market environment hostile and the business is not able to survive. But again, we also have the aspect of financial instability. And with financial instability, it's an aspect whereby the financial market is not sustainable enough and it's not sustaining the prices of your business. So for instance, you could have done pricing for your products and you realize that even after making enough sales, it does not meet the operation cost or it does not meet the running cost of your business and you end up making losses. But the other bit could also be from regulatory challenges, whereby the country regulation or laws and regulation do not favor your business anymore and you're not able to sustain it, and this can make a business to fail. So the risk and uncertainty can be affected by different areas, and it can originate from marketing, it can originate from financial state, or it can even be about the laws and regulation of the country. So these are aspects that can also fail a business. And lastly, I wanted to highlight all this just in a one slide because this highlights some of the major challenges that majority of business owners face. And one of the leading one is lack of enough funding, more so for startup and maintaining operations, whereby someone has started a business, but the funding they have is not adequate enough to maintain the business. Maybe they were able to set up the structure, but then when it comes to maintaining maybe utilities, salaries, wages, and all that, it does not cater for all that. So it becomes a bit expensive on their end. And then the other bit is failing to collect debt on time. So this is aspects whereby maybe the business owners are not able to consolidate their invoices correctly, or they're not collecting the debts from the customers on time, and so they're not able to collect enough income to sustain the business again. But also, if your business plan is not so clear, you don't have the vision of the business, you are not sure what is your plan in the next 6 months or 1 year in regards to that business, it can also become very vague enough and the business can collapse. There's the aspect of impatience, whereby people want shortcuts and very quick success, which sometimes is not possible in businesses, because some business requires you to be very patient. It can take even years before that business breaks even, or some businesses are just capital intensive, and for you to get your capital back, it can take a lot of time. And then the other bit is failure to formalize transactions with contracts. So whereby you're doing everything verbally and you're not signing proper documentation in regards to these contracts. So it's usually advised that if you want good transactions or if you want good business sustainability, make sure that your documentation is well organized and you can trace which and everything that is needed for your business to stand. And then the other bit is failure to implement systems and keep proper records, which is emphasizing on the previous comment on contracts and transactions. So when it comes to business management systems, at least ensure that your records are clear, well documented, and can easily be traced. And then taking in a wrong partner. This touches more on business partnerships, whereby your business is not a sole proprietorship, it's not a shareholding business, you are running a partnership business. And in this case, you bring in a partner possibly who does not fit the skills or doesn't fit the criteria for the business area that you're looking into. So you end up having squabbles or end up having conflicts that can actually collapse that business. And you could be hiring incompetent employees. Like you want to save on some funds, and so you want to hire whoever is available at your cheapest cost, and this can actually lead to failure. Reason being, the employee may not understand what is required of them, they may not uphold standards, and so they can actually ruin your customer reputations, they can give you bad public relations, and this can actually also lower your sales or lower your income sources. And non-tax compliances, in here we are looking at aspects of, are you doing your tax returns properly? Are you adhering to the business regulations as per your provisions and standards in the country? Or if it's an international entity, then are you meeting the international standards in terms of, let's say, labor regulations or standards of quality? Like, what are your compliances, and are you meeting them at the right time? So if you've been joining us from the beginning, this class is on healthcare entrepreneurship, and we are highlighting basically characteristics that cut across in entrepreneurship, and we've looked also at the challenges that come along with running a business or being an entrepreneur, but also we've not forgotten the benefits. So if you've not watched it from the beginning, please keep it up. Join us in the next classes as we'll be posting more lessons concerning entrepreneurship. So thank you for staying with us all the way to the end. Don't forget to give this video a like. You can also comment what you enjoyed the most, share with your platforms or people who may also need such lessons, and give us a subscribe, or rather click on the subscribe button. Thank you and bye bye. See you in our next lessons.